Hello and welcome back to the Happy Mama. Hi, I'm Hannah, mom to one, soon to be mom of two. Well, we're about halfway done, so however long that is. All about holistic living, positive lifestyle, and I have a little bit of PCOS videos also scattered into my channel. So if any of that encompasses your life, please feel free to click that subscribe button and notification bell so you can be notified every time I make a video. Today we are talking about simple habits that have had a tremendous impact on my life, physical health, and mental health. Like, I'm talking top 15 within days, weeks, at least a few months at most. You will see a difference either in your physical health, your life, or your mental health. I guarantee some of these you have not heard of, because I feel like many of these videos tend to be the same and kind of the same information regurgitated over and over. There's at least going to be one on this list that you haven't heard about, guaranteed. Also, quick disclaimer, don't hear this list, even though these are very simple habits to start, and get overwhelmed. If you are really wanting to have an impact on your life and your health, start with one habit. And once that becomes a habit, go on to the next. So don't try and tackle all of these habits or any other habits you've learned about all at once. You're going to get overwhelmed, burnt out, and then you're going to probably get down on yourself. If you like these kind of videos, give this video a like so I know to make more like this. And let's get on with the video. So first habit I implemented into my life is called mooing. You just go around. No, that's not it at all. It's actually MEWING. So what this habit is it has to do with actually your tongue posture. I know, I'm starting out with the weird one. Many of us, I was included in this, like to go about life with your mouth kind of open. Breathing, like that's how I breathe. I breathe through my mouth, not my nose, when it's actually a lot more beneficial for you to breathe through your nose. It's been shown to actually minimize viruses in your system, and along with having to do with how your facial structure looks and ages. So what mooing is proper tongue posture. And proper tongue posture is when your tongue is resting actually on the roof of your mouth. The whole tongue should be at the top of your mouth. It's gonna feel weird at first, but I'm telling you, now that this is a habit, I sleep like this. My sinuses stay clear all night long. Hello there. The benefits of mooing is, one, it helps with your actual breathing and sinuses. So I was, like I said, carrying my tongue, just letting it drop. And what it does is it kind of rests in the back of your throat, which, your throat's tied also to your windpipe. So that tongue kind of rests there and minimizes the amount of air you can get. I'll put a link below. Look more into it, but it makes it to where it's harder to breathe out of your nose. And what all of that boils down to is, one, it's healthier to breathe out of your nose, but two, your facial structure. So when you have your mouth open like that, it literally pulls everything down over time. So it droops everything down. And it was funny because I have always felt like I just had a really elongated cheek. I don't know. If you're under 26, you will actually see results really fast. But once you hit that threshold of 26, the bone fuses up in the roof of the mouth and becomes a little bit less malleable, but it still stays malleable even after age 26. And putting that pressure up there helps expand the roof of your mouth and lift everything back up.
Close your mouth, it lifts everything up.
As long as your tongue's resting on the roof of your mouth. I used to wake up every single night with a stuffy nose. Everything would be clogged. Now I breathe so easily all through the night, and I was even a snorer, and my snoring went away as well. My jaw is stronger. It has expanded a bit more here, so you'll also see that difference. And my sinuses stay clear all night, so I get a better night's sleep and I breathe easier. And when I breathe easier throughout the day as well. Next habit is drinking fluids first thing in the morning. What I like to do is fill about a 16 to 24 ounce glass of water, sometimes even 32 ounce, and have it ready to go the night before. So when I wake up, that's the first thing I reach for, and I drink as much as I can. This has helped so much with my skin. It's more hydrated, it's more plump and filled out and dewy. It's also been great for energizing me in the mornings, along with helping with my digestive system. So it makes me very regular. So this has really made an impact, and makes an impact within a few days of implementing it. I try to get the most water I can in just in the morning, because I'm not the type to really be thirsty throughout the day. Some people do lemon water. I just like regular water with some trace minerals put in there, but you can do whatever. You could add fruit to it if you need to add fruit, but I always wonder how many people would actually need coffee if they just implemented this habit instead, along with get a good night's rest. But this habit alone, I'm telling you, game changer.
Do you get lemon water as well?
Sometimes. This next habit has really helped me in getting a great night's sleep and falling asleep quickly, and really just helping me wind down and have a clear head right before I go to bed. And that is reading before bed. I've never been a reader. I've never been, even like during when I was a kid in school, when they would be like, okay, you have to read this many pages in this book. It was dreading to me. And early 20s I never read, and it wasn't until my mid-20s that I started to get into reading and really enjoy it, when I was able to find things that I was interested in and read about. And when I implemented that into reading before I went to bed, I found such a tremendous difference in how fast I fell asleep, how peacefully I fell asleep, and the good quality night's sleep I had. So one, this can be, linked to not having my phone in front of my face and my brain being stimulated by that light and just all the stimulation that goes with on the phone. But it also, reading also can be kind of a meditative state. It naturally puts you in a more meditative state, which again is very calming and peaceful. So I just find this has cleared my mind, and spiritually and physically I've gained so much peace from just doing this. Obviously, I'm reading things I enjoy, and these things are not dark or scary stories. So I think that's really big and something to think about as well. But reading before bed, I'm telling you, even if you aren't a reader, find something you're interested in to get yourself, and don't do the audiobooks. Like, find a legit book, not on a screen, a real hardcover book. Well, it could be soft cover, I guess, to read. And honestly, if I'm not tired within 20 minutes, I will be like, I am ready for bed. So usually about 30 minutes prior, sometimes maybe even an hour, depending on what I'm reading, I will sit down before my bedtime, and read. And I find that I'm excited to go to bed after. A lot of times before, I was a night owl. I wanted to stay up. I wanted to keep doing things. I want to look at this on the phone and this and this and this. And not realizing what chaos that was bringing to me physically from not getting the good night's sleep, and mentally as well. Okay, you all, this habit transformed my health. It's kind of the habit that started me on my health and life transforming journey. I know that sounds so dramatic, but it's so true. And that is juicing. I watched a documentary called Fat, Sick, and Nearly Dead. Me and my husband did. I want to say about, it's either 6 or 8, maybe even 9 years ago. And that documentary inspired me so much. At that time, I was struggling with PCOS. I had severe acne. My hair was thinning. I did not like or enjoy the way I look. I had zero confidence. And watching that documentary gave me so much inspiration and hope. And implementing juicing, let me tell you, for me, it hit all my expectations and then some. I've came across so many habits or so many products that are kind of like introduced to us, of people talking about and being like, you need to try this, you need to try this, and been so excited about it and tried it and been let down. Juicing is one of those that it exceeded my expectations and transformed my health, like I said, more than I could even imagine. My skin started to just glow from within. My acne started to fade. My hair started to rejuvenate. My nails, my energy levels, my clarity of thought. Juicing is different than blending. I want to put that out there because many people believe that if they have a blender, they can make a juice. Technically you could, but you need a strainer and everything else.
Juice.
But blending, I have my son here, blending actually makes smoothies. So you want a actual juicer. I will put links to two of the juicers down below that I started out with, that I think if you're going to see how, if you're going to be getting into juicing, not spend an arm and a leg, but yet still get the benefits and have a quality juicer. Within 3 days of consistently juicing, I was seeing differences. And there was nothing I had done in that point that had made that big of a difference that quickly. And to this day, I juice weekly. And there'll be weeks I juice every single day, or months that I juice every single day. And then there'll be some weeks I'll only juice a few times. But when I am juicing regularly, that is when I'm feeling my best. My skin is at its best. It's like truly a magic elixir in my mind. And it all depends on the ingredients you're using. I tend to go to kale. Always have lots of greens in my juices, and that's just how I get my greens in during the day to ensure that I'm getting them all in. But I just want to come to your house and juice for you. So you can just try it for a week. Just give it a go every morning. Try it for a week. Watch that documentary, get inspired, start juicing. Next habit is eating as much fresh food as possible. In the morning, for lunch, for dinner, if I'm snacking, it's gonna be on fresh fruits and vegetables. This, again, energy levels are so much better on days. My digestive system, oh my goodness, I had so many digestive system disorders before I implemented juicing and fresh foods. Our bodies are meant to eat these. Eat them as much as you want. If you're craving them, eat them. If you're not craving them, start eating them. You'll start craving them, I'm telling you. When I introduced fresh food, the similar effects happened as with juicing. And even to this day, if I have days where I don't eat that much fresh food, maybe I just have more cooked food, which isn't necessarily bad, but I notice a difference. If my day is full of fresh greens, fresh fruits, and other root vegetables and cruciferous vegetables, I just feel so mentally alert, happy, and in the moment. And it always, I feel like I'm doing my body a favor, which I am. You are what you eat, people. It's true. So eat as much fresh food as you can. This one will also just give you a lift, and that is getting outside and getting sunshine every single day. Even if the sun's not shining, if you could just get out for at least 10 minutes outside in nature, you're spiritually, emotionally, physically going to be somewhat more recharged and balanced. And it's funny because the days we don't feel like that, we don't want to do anything. We don't want to go anywhere. You have to force yourself out. When I get outside every single day, whether it's, even if I lived in an apartment for a while and I did not have a yard, but I would go out of that apartment complex and walk around with my son, and it would dramatically change my outlook on life, my productivity, and just how I felt in general. And when I'm feeling productive, emotionally happy and uplifted, I am just in my best state, and my best state is what I want to show up for in this world and for my son and my husband. So get outside, get some sunshine. This daily habit is a must. Next one, deleting social media, at least taking a social media break. It doesn't matter what person you are, no matter how productive you are, no matter how on top of things you are. Social media sucks you in, gets you addicted, And you will find a point, everyone does, where you're just on it and you don't really even know why you're on it at that point, but you want to stay on it. And that's kind of the point I reached. And I reflected on myself where I was replaying posts in my head throughout the day. I'm like, what am I doing? This isn't even reality. And these are other people's opinions in my mind. So whether they were positive or not, it was just weird to me. It just clicked in my head like, this is odd. I'm not really reliving living these situations. Why are they replaying in my mind? And that told me I need to delete my social media. I need to disconnect, go back to how it was when I was a child. We can all survive without social media, even though it feels like we can't and we're disconnected. Crazy enough, when I finally deleted all of my social media, my Instagram's not deleted, but I do not get on it at all. That's the only one I still have besides Marco Polo, which to me is very personal and not as much, you're just bombarded with everyone's life, opinions, and whatever else, ads. But when I did that and I kind of announced to the people I was friends with on social media, my real friends and my real connections reached out to me and said, I want to stay connected with you. Here's my number. And now I have actually genuine relationships with all those people. And it just went to show me, I watched this one video where this guy's like, you have all these friends, but who are your real connections? Who's your real support? It gives a false illusion, at least it did for me. So when I did that, I feel like I'm more supported, more in the loop with people than I was then. And now I know that genuine people who genuinely care about me are a part of my life and not just people wanting to stalk me or wanting to put ill intent on me, because you all know they're out there. Those people that when you're doing great in life and you're posting on social media, not that it can affect you technically, but they're putting that bad vibe out there when they see you and you're doing well. And it feels good knowing that I'm doing my own thing and the people who are rooting for me are the ones, being aware of what's going on and they're on my team. You get what I'm saying? So deleting my social media has definitely I felt like I just broke the chains and it was very freeing. I have so much more free time now. I can really focus and be in the moment more. It had just become too much for me. So that's just my own. But I'm telling you, if that's been on your mind, God is trying to send you a signal delete it. Because that's kind of how it was for me for a while. I kept getting maybe I should delete it. And then I talk myself out of it. And then I'm like, wait, I think this is God speaking to me saying I need to delete it. And my mental health, physical health, and just this weird weight I carried on my shoulders I didn't know about with social media was just lifted off. I didn't feel like I had to put my opinion out there. I didn't feel like I had to love and like all these posts so they know I'm their friend. I didn't feel like, I needed anyone's approval. And not that I felt all that stuff all at once, but it was things that were on my mind while I was on social media, and I realized that now. This takes me to my next habit, which, this habit is you will see a difference within the day. And it is called an endorphin detox. I know, it sounds pretty out there too. But basically what it is you take a day, a 24-hour period of cutting out anything that gives you instant endorphin satisfaction. It sounds counterintuitive. However, this would be TV, any form of TV, any form of social media, music, and anything that's artificial like that. You get what I'm saying? Something that doesn't really exist in this reality, but we've brought it in to be a part of it. It sounds kind of why would you want to do that? Those are things that bring you joy. And there was just a study done on mice that the more endorphins released they had, which is what social media and watching TV and movies and all that just constantly triggers those endorphins. That's why we want to go back to them so much. And these mice that had lots of endorphins were so less motivated, so much so they upped their endorphins to a point where some mice wouldn't even get up to eat. That's how little motivation. So what do you think happens when they took the endorphins away and the endorphin release away? They became super motivated, and I'm telling you, this is exactly what this endorphin detox does. Any little chore that you think about and you're like, ugh, I don't feel like doing that, or you want to procrastinate on, instantly becomes like a, I need to do this. I want to do this, because your mind is looking to get that endorphin rush in another way, since it's not getting it consistently from the other sources. Like I said, instant gratification with this one, but way harder than it sounds. And because, especially for me with music, because I usually wake up and have music, I'm in the car with music, I just love listening to music. And that seems like, well, what harm is that? There's no harm in it, but when you detox from it, I'm telling you, that was like one of my most productive days. The first day I did the endorphin detox, I was like on it. Like, I had everything done by the evening. I could just sit back and be like, what should I do? I have everything done. Because your body has to get that endorphin release somehow, and doing tasks helps to give you that. So try it. Again, 24 hours, no music, no social media, no TV, no technology, just being in the moment. Life-changing. Okay, this next habit I implemented, which I usually only do a few times a week, if that is body brushing. I will put a few links if you do have no idea what I'm talking about, but basically you have a soft brush specifically made for body brushing, and you brush your body a certain way to get the blood flow and lymphatic system draining and moving correctly. What are the benefits, Hannah? Helps naturally exfoliate your skin. Your skin becomes softer. It helps to boost your immune system, because your lymphatic system and immune system are like side by side. They are like, you need a clear lymphatic system. That is your circulatory system. And it also helps to diminish cellulite. Did it for me. Also, I eat really clean, so that helped too. And it helps with blood circulation. So body brushing, all I do is simply do it right before I get in the shower. It takes about 5 minutes, super simple. Give it a go. This one takes a little bit longer to see results, but if you stick with it, you will, I promise, okay? This next habit was a bit harder for me to let go of, but I let go of it a long time ago and saw tremendous results in my mental health, and that is avoiding dark, dramatic movies and shows. I didn't realize at the time how much this played on my actual mental health and how much it played on my daily life. But I used to watch like Real Housewives, all those kind of like drama reality TV shows, or reality, those are really, and you know, like dark movies, scary movies, dramatic movies, and this would be like a weekly thing for me. I was all about keeping up with it, and I just loved them. But I realized, again, those scenes from those shows and those movies were replaying in my mind. And this was kind of attracting what I was seeing into my life. And once I gave those up, again, my mental clarity and how much more mindful I could be just opened up. And the amount of positive opportunities and positive occurrences that started happening in my life became more frequent, and the more dramatic things that tended to happen went away. Yes, I'm talking went away. And even dramatic people I had in my life that I didn't really, I wasn't like super close with it, but they were part of my life or my circle or somehow my daily, weekly, or monthly life, they just kind of naturally disappeared as well. Bizarre. Telling you though, if you're into those dramas like I was, let them go. They're only holding you back. This one plays into kind of the endorphin release and the social media, deleting social media, and that is leaving my phone in a separate room. When I'm with my son or my husband or even my friends, I try not to have my phone right on me. I will have it in a separate room. And my thought process is, if it is an emergency, people will call. And if I do hear it ringing, I go and I check it. But when it comes to text, I really try to avoid checking it until after I'm done with whatever we are doing at that time, so I can be present and feel good. I'm the type of person, if I'm not present with my friends, my family, and especially my child, or I'm always present with this child in my belly right now, but then I just feel like guilt. And having the phone in another room has really helped me to feel present, and I am just naturally present because I'm not like checking it. You know how it is. Your phone's right there. You neurotically just look at it. Oh, what time is it? What's the weather like? Like, oh, what sound was that? Oh, I can check this. Oh, I have a question about this. Let me ask Google. You know how it goes? So when it's in another room, I can just relax and be in the moment. Yeah. This next habit is, do you want to introduce yourself? What's your name?
Eli.
Eli. How old are you?
3.
3. So this next habit is when I wake up, instantly I say, thank you, God, for waking me up. Gratitude first thing in the morning has made such a difference for my day, for my outlook, and for my mood. And this all just plays into my productivity and my mental health throughout the day. And it actually helps me have a healthier day as well because I feel uplifted and energized and ready to make healthy choices. So seriously, just waking up and instantly the first thought in my mind is, thank you, Lord, for waking me up to this new beautiful day. That is it. Simple, easy peasy, but it has it.
Simple, easy
peasy. Another thing in the morning that I do first thing when I get out of bed, or probably within 5 minutes, is make my bed. I used to always dread making my bed. You hear this a lot. This is one of those that you hear in most of these videos. And now what that led for me was a cleaner house, because I got in the habit of keeping my space tidy in the bedroom, and then that led to other rooms. So making my bed first thing in the morning just starts it out right. I've already gotten something done. My room feels clean and ready to go for me when I'm ready that later that day, or anytime I walk in here, it just feels clean and crisp and welcoming. And again, that plays really on my productivity and my mental and emotional health. So this next one had a huge impact on more of my physical physique, and that is flexing my glutes throughout the day. I know, like, some people might not even hold up. Some people might not even care about this. It might just be like, who cares? But for me, I take my physical fitness seriously, and in those months, weeks, and whatever where I'm not really able to exercise, flexing my glutes throughout the day has helped so much to keep it toned and in shape, along with just keeping that glute activation, which for me, I know this is so random, nothing about my channel is about this, but for me, I just really love working on my glutes. I love growing my glutes, and glute activation is everything when it comes to your glutes and keeping that brain muscle connection. So flexing them, whether I'm rocking my son, whether I'm in the car, if I'm doing something, like even sometimes if I'm reading, I might do it. And just doing that has kept that brain muscle connection for me really well, to where when I get back in the gym, anything that I've maybe lost as far as glute strength and glute tone comes back very quickly. And I feel like it also helps to actually keep them pretty toned in between the times I am not able to consistently work out, which, you know, as a mom happens. So this last one, some people are gonna roll your eyes, you're gonna be like, girl, you're crazy. But I'm telling you, just do it and hear me out. And that is, are you ready? I gave up coffee. Coffee. Did I say that funny? Yes, I know some of you like are instantly like, unsubscribe, I don't want to hear it. But I used to be every morning, not an every morning coffee girl, but an everyday coffee girl, where it was that trip to Starbucks to get my vanilla iced coffee, give me that like pizzazz and that just extra pep in my step. And once I started to read more and more about coffee, it's not horrible, I'm not saying you're just doing this horrible thing to your body, but once I kind of read how the energy aspect of coffee worked, and it all made sense why I was feeling how I was feeling at the time, and why I so depended on the coffee and not just like not just because my body was used to the caffeine, but why I needed it because of since I drank it the day before. So what coffee does, it doesn't actually give you an energy boost. I read this quote and it said, coffee and caffeine takes the energy of tomorrow and forces it into today. And it's just a cycle. So you're taking the energy from, now it doesn't literally, it's actually forcing your adrenals to release hormones and chemicals to give you that energy burst. But that is typically, once they've released it all, they don't have much left after that because they're not used to releasing it all at one time. Hence why usually people get that 2 and 3 o'clock feeling of just being very lethargic, very tired, because those adrenals are tired by that time because of the caffeine effects on the body. And this also plays into hormone health. So if you are here, which most of you are because my channel started as a channel about PCOS, here because of PCOS, it is not helping your PCOS and your hormone levels at all. It can really lead to estrogen dominance, or in my case, it was like feeding my testosterone. So I don't know how that plays in. Don't ask scientifically. All I know is like the days I'd have coffee, I would be super energized at that time, and then I would get a bit agitated afterwards, and I'd be really tired, and then the following day, it was like around that time, I'd get my coffee, I'd be ready for it, and needing it, and needing that pick-me-up. And my skin got better when I gave it up, my mood leveled out, my hormones leveled out, and my energy started to come back. So even now, like I went through, and I'm not saying this as in if you rely on coffee now, you should not feel bad about yourself. You should not feel guilty. That's not the point of me saying this. But even now, being a mom and having lived through that newborn stage, getting ready to live through the newborn stage again, not getting that adequate sleep, and my son still like sometimes gets up during the night and needs to pee or do that, and I still need to meet my, be energized and ready to go the next day for him. I don't need coffee anymore to do that. I will either drink my green juice, extra water, get some fruit in, and I can find that natural energy and really promote my body's natural energy production that way. And by doing this, I feel so much more awake and alive. I can't explain it. And even now, coffee sounds good sometimes, and I will just get decaf. Very rare that I actually do that. To start out, I actually did kind of like a decaf, and I know some decafs are not good for you, but I did do that just to wean myself off of the caffeine and just drink little less at a time. And then I went to a coffee alternative, which doesn't taste exactly like coffee, but has similar taste, and they have like natural supplements in there to give you a natural energy boost. And then now I really don't rely on any of those. Like I said, very rarely, maybe once every so often, I'm talking every couple of months, I will be like, ooh, an iced coffee sounds good. I'm gonna go get a decaf iced coffee. And luckily we have like a local coffee shop that uses like high quality decaf coffee and something that I trust drinking. And I normally can't even finish a small, which I used to get a medium. A venti, right? And I would drink it all and be like, oh, that was so good. Now I drink like half, and I'm just of a small, and I'm done. It's like, I'm good. I'm like, okay, I remember now. It leaves this coating. Like, I'm not the type to like black coffee, so I like a little bit of sweetener. I like a little bit of, creamer, like almond milk or oat milk or something. And my teeth whitened, my clarity, just everything. Once I finally was like, okay, I need to stop talking up coffee so much, because in our society it's like coffee, like, girl, you're a mom, you need coffee, coffee's the best, and blah blah blah. It's like, we need to stop that talk, okay? We need to stop that. If you are really struggling with energy levels, hormone problems, or just clarity in the brain and having just consistent energy throughout the day, we need to stop that self-talk, and we need to talk more on like, what can I do instead to promote that natural energy? So there you have it, my 15 habits that have seriously transformed my life, my health, and mental health and physical health, all of those intertwined, of course. If any of these were interesting to you or you haven't heard of them, let me know down below. I want to hear. Or maybe I named a habit, you have a habit that I didn't name that has really helped you in your life and your health. Let me know down below. As always, thank you all for joining me, and I will see you in my next video. Put down the coffee. Just do it. Put down the coffee. Grab the water, lemon water, whatever it is. Put down the coffee.